All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about a piece of technology that's become the absolute heart of modern security, the SIEM. Let's start with this idea right here, because it really gets to the point. We all think buying a bunch of tools, a firewall, some antivirus software, means we're secure. But this quote, it hits on a huge misunderstanding. Having a garage full of car parts doesn't mean you have a working car. So what is that difference, really? Well, it's the giant gap between just collecting a bunch of data and actually understanding what it all means. It's about seeing the full story behind an attack, not just a single lonely alert. And that, right there, is the problem we're here to talk about. See, the biggest issue for security teams today isn't a lack of data. It's actually the opposite. We are absolutely drowning in it. With the cloud, all our smart devices, people working from everywhere, we're creating mountains of data. And the real challenge is that all this noise has created a kind of operational blindness. It's almost impossible for a human to see what's really happening. To really get why this visibility is so critical, you have to understand the insane pressure that security teams are under right now. So let's quickly break down the 5 biggest headaches they're dealing with every single day. First up, you've got the data deluge. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is also on fire and growing every second. Then there's the silo problem. Your network security doesn't talk to your cloud security. They each see a tiny piece of the puzzle, but never the whole picture. Next is alert fatigue, which is a massive one we'll talk more about in a sec. We're also facing a huge shortage of skilled security experts. And finally, the threats themselves are getting smarter. Attackers aren't just hacking in anymore, they're logging in with stolen keys. And let's put a number on that alert fatigue. Can you imagine your team getting over 10,000 alerts every single day? It's human nature. After a while, you just start tuning it out. It's impossible to keep up. And the one alert that actually matters, the one signaling a real break-in, it just gets lost in all that noise. Okay, so you're facing all these challenges. How do you possibly fight back? Well, that brings us to the solution, a system called the SIEM. That stands for Security, Information, and Event Management. So what is this thing? Well, put simply, a SIEM is a platform that acts like a giant magnet for all your security data. It pulls in everything from everywhere, your servers, your cloud accounts, your laptops, firewalls, the whole shebang. Then it standardizes all that data, or normalizes it, so that everything is speaking the same language and can actually be analyzed together. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like this. If all your security tools are the nerve endings in a body, the SIEM is the brain. It takes in all those signals from every part of your organization. It processes them in real time, and it figures out what's a real threat versus what's just noise. It really just boils down to 3 simple but powerful functions. First, it pulls in all that data. Second, and this is where the magic really happens, it connects the dots between events that might look totally unrelated to a human. And third, it kicks off an action, and a lot of times it does it automatically. And it does this using a few key superpowers. You've got threat correlation, which is all about finding those hidden patterns. Then there's behavioral baselining. The SIM actually learns what normal looks like for your users and your network, so it can spot something weird instantly. And finally, SOAR integration means it can actually do something about it, like automatically triggering a response to, say, lock an account or take a laptop off the network in seconds. Let's make this real with an example. Without a SIEM, a security analyst might see 2 separate low-priority alerts, a failed login from Malaysia, and then a successful one from London 5 minutes later. They'd probably just ignore them. But a SIEM sees both, puts them together, and says, wait a minute, there is no way that person traveled from Malaysia to London in 5 minutes. It flags this as an impossible travel event, which is a classic sign that an account has been hijacked. Okay, so we know what a SIEM is and what it does, but let's get to the really important part. Why, right now, has this technology gone from being a nice-to-have for big companies to something that is absolutely non-negotiable for pretty much everyone? It's because in this chaotic world of scattered data and super-fast attacks, the SIEM becomes your single source of truth. It is the one place, the one screen, where you can see everything happening across your entire digital world in one cohesive picture. And there are 3 huge forces driving this right now. 1, the speed of attacks has just collapsed. 2, the penalties for not complying with new regulations are getting seriously painful. And 3, modern SIEMs are now using AI to act as a massive force multiplier for teams that are already stretched thin. I mean, look at this. An attacker today can get into your network and be walking out the digital door with your data in less than 30 minutes. You literally do not have time for a human to slowly piece things together. You need that real-time automated detection to stop an attack while it's happening, not after the damage is done.
And on top of that, you've got the regulators breathing down your neck. New rules like DORA and NIS2 in Europe are now demanding that you report major security incidents within just a few hours. A few hours. If your team is still digging through log files from 10 different systems by hand, you're going to miss that deadline, and you're going to face some massive fines.
And this brings us to the final point, and it might be the most powerful one. A modern SIEM isn't just about playing defense anymore. It's a strategic tool that makes your entire team better, faster, and smarter. By using AI to do the heavy lifting, investigating alerts, summarizing what it finds, even suggesting what to do next, a modern CM can make a single analyst as effective as 3. In an industry where we just can't find enough talented people, that is an absolute game changer. It turns your security analysts from people just trying to quiet the noise into actual proactive threat hunters. It's a true force multiplier. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. The bad guys are using automation to attack us at machine speed. We just cannot afford to fight an automated offense with a slow manual defense. It's a losing battle. We have to fight fire with fire. So we'll end by coming right back to where we started. I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. When you look at your own security, do you see just a random collection of tools? Or do you see a single, unified source of truth? Because the answer to that question could be the difference between being secure and just thinking you are.